Good morning, students. You are welcome in the lecture number 10 of a chapter of ionic equilibrium. In the last lecture number 9, we have completed buffer solutions. We have seen that buffer solution is a solution which resists the drastic change in pH by addition of small quantity of acid or small quantity of base or water. Buffer solution maintains the constancy of a pH of solution. Further, we have seen two type of buffer solutions: acidic buffer solution and basic buffer solution. Acidic buffer solution is a solution which has pH less than 7, and that is prepared by mixing weak acid and a salt of that weak acid with strong base. A mixture of weak acid and a salt of that weak acid with strong base gives us acidic buffer solution, ABS. Second type of buffer solution is basic buffer solution. Basic buffer solution has pH greater than 7, and that is prepared by mixing weak base with the salt of that same weak base with a strong acid. A mixture of weak base and the salt of that weak base with strong acid gives basic buffer solution. Then we have seen buffer action. There we have studied whenever any solution is preserved using the buffer solution, the pH of that solution remain to be constant, because if externally acid is added, that reacts with the buffer solution. If externally base is added, that also react with the buffer solution, and the pH of solution is maintained to be constant because of buffer solution. That is what we have seen in the last lecture. In this lecture, we have to complete the applications of buffer solution in these 5 fields, followed by a solubility product. Applications of buffer solution. First one, in biochemical system. Our human system is nothing but a biochemical system. Human blood has a pH within a range of 7.36 to 7.42. This is the range of pH of human blood. This must be maintained to be constant while any treatment is given. For example, whenever intravascular saline is given to the body, that saline must be prepared of that type which should not increase the pH of human blood greater than 7.42, or that should not decrease the pH of human blood less than 7.36. Plus minus 0.2 pH of plus or minus 0.2 in the human blood may cause the death. Therefore, it must be precautious in the biochemical systems. It should be precautious that the pH of blood should be maintained to be constant. And we know pH is maintained to be constant with the help of buffer solutions. Therefore, buffers are highly important for the living organisms in their biochemical systems. Second application, in agriculture. Agriculture mostly based on the soil. Soil has a certain pH range. pH of soil is constant. there are different salts in the soil. Carbonate salt is there, phosphate salt is there, sulfate salt is there. So different salts are present in the soil, and because of the salts, pH of the soil may be different. It should be varied. So if we know the pH of soil, we can add a particular type of fertilizers. The dose of particular type of fertilizers is given to the soil if the pH is known, and that dose will may either increase or decrease the pH of soil, that maintains the constancy of pH of soil. That is important for the crops. For the growth of crops, the pH of soil should be certain fixed, and that can be maintained to be constant by addition of fertilizers. And those fertilizers are given because specific type of fertilizers are given because pH of the soil is known. So if pH is known or measured experimentally, that can be kept constant, maintained to be constant by the addition of buffer solutions. Third, in industry, all the industries are based on production of their product. All industries are based on the production of their product, and that product should be of good quality, better quality, best quality. To maintain the quality of the product, pH must be constant. In the paint industries, varnishes, pH must be constant. Soap, pH of soap should be constant, basic side. So that pH is maintained to be constant in the industries by addition of buffer solutions, because buffer solution is a solution which resists the drastic change in pH by addition of small quantity of acid or small quantity of base or water. So buffer solutions are important in the industry also for the production of best quality product. In the medicine, medicines are highly important for human life. Production of good quality medicine with a constant perfect pH value is important. Penicillin is preserved in presence of sodium citrate buffer. The injection of penicillin is preserved in presence of sodium citrate buffer. It is the sodium citrate buffer prepared from citric acid, weak acid, and strong base NaOH, sodium citrate. This is a salt. Sodium citrate buffer is used for maintaining the constancy of pH of penicillin medicine. Highly important. All the medicines are preserved to a constant pH. Most of the medicines are kept in a fridge. In the fridge itself, food materials are preserved for many days. Why? Because if the pH of food material changes, they get destroyed by the microorganisms. They get damaged by the microorganisms. They are the waste products that cannot be eaten up. So food material is kept in the fridge. Why? Because in the fridge there is a buffer system. There is a buffer solution system. Sodium benzoate buffer is there that preserves the food materials by maintaining a constancy of pH of food material. In the similar manner, most of the medicines, many medicines are kept in a fridge in order to maintain their pH. Magnesite buffer, milk of magnesia, is preserved in presence of the magnesite buffer. So medicines are preserved using the buffer solutions, and they can be used for a longer period because of constancy of pH maintained using the buffer solution. One more application in the analytical chemistry. While doing the practicals in the last year at your 11th standard, you must have seen inorganic qualitative analysis. Inorganic qualitative analysis. Analysis. So, analytical chemistry. Analytical chemistry. Because analysis we are performing. So, that inorganic qualitative analysis is the experiment from analytical chemistry. In that inorganic qualitative analysis, what we are doing? We are detecting the radicals. We are finding the basic radical and acidic radical. Basic and acidic. Basic radical has a positive charge known as cation. Acidic radical has a negative charge known as anion. For example, for the analysis, if the salt like this is given NH4Cl, this practically you have done last year. It is containing the cation known as NH4 plus, containing anion known as Cl minus. Detection of cation and anion, and to write the formula of salt ammonium chloride, that practically you have done, known as inorganic qualitative analysis. In that inorganic qualitative analysis, for finding the groups, you have seen totally 6 groups. Group first, group second, group third A, third B, group fourth, fifth, and group sixth. In the first group and second group, acidic medium is used. And in third A and third A onwards, third A, third B, fourth, fifth, basic medium is used. For maintaining the basic medium, buffer solution is used, and that buffer solution is a basic buffer solution NH4OH plus NH4Cl. We know what is meant by basic buffer. Basic buffer is a buffer solution which has pH greater than 7, and that can be prepared by mixing weak base and its salt of strong acid. So this mixture is a basic buffer solution, and this mixture is used in analyzing group third A onwards basic medium. The radicals present in group third A, third B, fourth, fifth, they are analyzed in the basic medium. They are detected in the basic medium, and for that detection, it is necessary to maintain the basic medium. For that purpose, basic buffer solution is required, and this is a basic buffer solution. This buffer solution maintains constancy of pH, and that is used in the analytical chemistry in inorganic qualitative analysis. So with that, we have completed the applications of buffer solutions. Now let us see solubility product. solubility product. This term of solubility product we are confined with the sparingly soluble salt. Sparingly soluble salt. See, I am telling you the example of two salts. Suppose we have a beaker and water is taken in a beaker. We have one more beaker. Here also a water is taken. In this beaker we have added NaCl, sodium chloride. Let us consider 100 ml. 100 ml of water is taken and 10 gram of NaCl is added. Here also 100 ml of water is taken and silver chloride or maybe lead sulfate, silver chloride or lead sulfate, that type of salt is added. 10 gram is added. Now what happens is that if NaCl is added to water, immediately it undergo dissolution in the water. It is soluble in water. It get dissolved in water. Total 10 gram undergo dissolution. Completely it is dissolved. But if AgCl is added to water, 10 gram, out of this 10 gram, just 0.1 gram undergo dissolution. Just 0.1 gram undergo dissolution and 9.9 gram will settle down at the bottom. So which is completely soluble? Is it NaCl or is it AgCl which is completely soluble among these two? NaCl. This is completely soluble. And this is known as sparingly soluble salt. This is the sparingly soluble salt. The salts which whenever added to the water undergo very less degree of dissolution. Very less dissolution is known as a sparingly soluble salt, and this solubility product is the term confined with the sparingly soluble salt. Now let us see the solubility product of such a type of sparingly soluble salt. See this fact in detail. See how it happens. Consider the same case. Here we have taken a water in a beaker. Let us consider 1000 ml means 1 liter water is taken. To this 1 liter water, silver chloride AgCl is added. Suppose we have added 10 gram of AgCl. So what happens is that out of this 10 gram, just 0.1 gram undergo dissolution. 0.1 gram out of 10 gram is soluble. 0.1 out of 10 is soluble. So what happened? Just 0.1 gram is dissolved and 9.9 gram will settle at the bottom. This bottom is containing 9.9 gram. Consider the experiment in which we have taken 1 liter of the water. To that 1 liter water, 10 gram silver chloride is added. Out of that 10 gram, just 0.1 gram silver chloride is dissolved and remaining 9.9 gram will settle down at the bottom. Whatever the AgCl is dissolved here, we know that AgCl is a salt, and salts are always strong electrolytes that undergo complete dissociation. AgCl present in the solid state, when equilibrium is obtained, AgCl dissolved, that is aqueous liquid state, and that undergo dissociation producing Ag plus and Cl minus ions. Now see what happened. This liquid AgCl is in equilibrium with the solid AgCl, and liquid AgCl is in equilibrium with the ions, because AgCl is a salt and that salt undergo complete dissociation. See, this is always constant. How it comes to be constant, that is the important part over here. For this ionic equilibria, since this is reversible, we can apply the law of mass action and we can calculate the equilibrium constant. So K equilibrium, for this equilibria will be concentration of product Ag plus Cl minus divided by concentration of AgCl. This AgCl is in the liquid state, and liquid state AgCl concentration is always constant. Liquid AgCl concentration is always constant, 0.1. How it is constant? Get it, understand properly. How much is the dissolved part? 0.1. Here is the 0.1 dissolved, producing Ag plus and Cl minus. If that 0.1 Ag plus and Cl minus is taken off, if that is removed, here is 9.9. Again 0.1 enters here, and the part left behind will be now 9.8. 0.1 remain constant. If again that 0.1 is removed, taken off, what happen? This become 9.7 and 0.1 enter into the liquid state. Therefore, concentration of AgCl in the liquid state is always constant. So this is constant. Equilibrium constant is always constant. So K, this is equilibrium constant, is equal to concentration of Ag plus ion, concentration of Cl minus ion divided by K dash. Let us consider the concentration of AgCl is K dash. Taking K dash on left side, the equation will be K into K dash is equal to concentration of Ag plus ion into concentration of Cl minus ion. This is constant. This is also constant. If this is 2, this is 3. 2 into 3, always 6. Always 6. 2 into 3, neither less than 6 nor more than 6. Always it is constant, always 6. These are constants, and the product of constant is always constant. That is known as Ksp. So Ksp will be equal to concentration of Ag plus into concentration of Cl minus. This Ksp is known as solubility product constant. That is the solubility product constant. So how that solubility product constant is defined? How Ksp is defined? Solubility product constant of a sparingly soluble salt. It is for the sparingly soluble salt, is defined as a product of concentration of ions, product of concentrations of the ions raised to an appropriate power equal to the coefficients of ions in the coefficients of ions in the equilibrium equation of that sparingly soluble salt. That product is known as a solubility product, and with the help of this solubility product and solubility product constant, we can prepare the solutions. Here, what is the saturated solution? Saturated solution is the solution in which there is maximum solubility. See, what is the capacity to dissolve? 0.1. 0.1 is the capacity of 1 liter water to dissolve AgCl. If we take less than 0.1, is this saturated solution or unsaturated solution? Unsaturated solution. Here we have taken more than 0.1. So what is that? Precipitation. Precipitation take place at the bottom. And if we take exactly 0.1, capacity is 0.1, and we are taking also 0.1 gram. At that time, that solution is known as a saturated solution. So here is the saturated solution, and this equilibria we have applied for the saturated solution. Therefore, solubility product is calculated for a saturated solution. Solubility product constant of a sparingly soluble salt is the product of concentrations of ions raised to an appropriate power equal to their coefficients in the equilibrium equation under saturated conditions. Under saturated solution conditions is known as a solubility product constant. So what are the points we have covered here? We have covered the applications of buffer solutions in 5 different fields: in biochemical reactions, in agriculture, in medicine, in industry, and in analytical chemistry. 5 different applications of buffer solutions we have studied in order to maintain the constancy of pH. To maintain the constancy of pH, buffer solutions are highly important, and the pH can be maintained to be constant using buffer solutions in 5 different fields, and those 5 different fields are growing day by day because of the use of buffer solutions. And then we have seen this solubility product for a sparingly soluble salt, where we have seen there are 2 types of the salts. We have seen the difference between sodium chloride and silver chloride. Sodium chloride undergo complete dissolution, whereas silver chloride has a very less tendency to enter into the solution. So silver chloride is known as sparingly soluble salt. Similar to silver chloride, there is a salt like barium sulfate, lead sulfate. They are also sparingly soluble salts. For a sparingly soluble salt, solubility product can be calculated by this method. Solubility product is the product of molar concentrations of the ions. Solubility product is the product of concentrations of the ions raised to power equal to their coefficients in the equilibrium equation in the saturated solution. So that is there about the solubility product constant. Here, AgCl solid and liquid, they are in equilibrium with each other. Liquid and ions, they are in equilibrium with each other. Why these are in equilibrium with each other? Because if 0.1 we have considered, if that is evaluated, if that is eliminated, if that is taken out, whatever the AgCl in solid state is there, that enters into the liquid state. Therefore, concentration of AgCl in liquid state always remain constant, and there is equilibrium between these two phases, solid and liquid. Liquid phase is a strong electrolyte that undergo complete dissociation, giving the ions. By applying law of mass action, we can calculate the equilibrium constant. Since the concentration of AgCl is constant into constant, there is a new constant, and that is known as solubility product constant. Now, what is the relation between solubility and solubility product, that we see in the next lecture.